Okay, okay. Now, who is this lovely lady? This beautiful, light skinned it, succulent. Okay, okay.
Hi.
Beautiful woman of mine that in a couple days will be the new Mrs. Perry. How are you doing, honey?
I'm doing wonderful.
Great. Welcome, welcome.
Fresh off work.
Fresh
Saw
off
your
work.
appearance.
See them scrubs, working woman. Yeah,
Right.
bringing in the checks. That's what we need. The check. All right, well, honey, we're gonna go through your total impact score today. Um, and to let everyone understand, your impact score when you do take the assessment, it doesn't tell you how much impact you have. Is how much you are using. Wait, no, bring it back because we need to be like close to the
Oh,
same thing. Remember I was telling you like how Justin's was. Yeah, yeah, they're good.
okay.
It's still following you. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I ain't edit all this out. I ain't worried about it. So yeah. So your total impact score. It doesn't tell you the amount of impact you have. It tells you how much you're using. And so your score is 81.6%. So almost 82%. So there's 18% out there that we're still striving for. And so that 18%, what lies in that, that is all your hopes, your dreams, the 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 woman that you know you're destined to be. Through the things that you've already been through, the things that you've overcome, you're already using a ton of your impact, and we'll break that down. But to know that only 18% more
That's
between where
what's
you at
between me and greatness.
and the ultimate greatness, how does that make you feel? Like just looking at that.
Um, I guess I'm impartial to it. The fact that it's not that far to go to get to it, and yet I struggle with getting there. So it's you know it's both of them, to be completely honest. I mean, I definitely believe in the impact assessment and being able to tap into that other 18%, and I do believe that you will help me do that.
Well, in the first part, you can't fix what you can't see first. So just being able to, we'll go through them, but to just be able to see what you're using currently is step one. Like, how much I talk about manifest, and people have it completely wrong. I looked up the definition, and manifest means
Make clear.
to make clear and obvious. And so, what this represents is the clarity. You can't fix what you can't see, and so, let's get into it. So, your highest score was influence. I am not shocked by that, but let's get into it and see what you think about your results. So, it says you are influential, whether you realize it or not. I think that's the key point right there.
I definitely did not realize it.
Your words uplift and your energy shifts environments. Do not doubt this wonderful ability to influence others that you possess. You can brighten someone's day and conversely ruin someone's day based on the power you decide to exhibit. Use your influence for good. Understand that you are a people shifter.
Mm.
Use your power wisely.
Shift people.
Yeah, you are a stabilizing force, the kind that can move others towards greatness. So when you see that and read that, what comes to mind? How does it make you feel seeing that?
I definitely didn't know that I was that impactful or had that much pull over people, to be completely honest. I mean, now that you say it, Now I can, think of instances, and things where it could be true, or
Like
maybe
what?
it's like, I don't know. I can't help it, but whenever most places that I go to work, I somehow become the unspoken leader, even if I am not given that title. I just, I'm the one that people go to when there's a problem they need to fix, stuff like that, as well as I can definitely cause an uprising if need be. But I mean, I'm the person who definitely can shift the pot either way. So I mean, I definitely see that now, and it wasn't even something I guess I thought of until I see it there, or something that I even could use or that I'm good at. But it definitely is.
And just knowing, obviously knowing you and knowing, some of the things that are in the works, my challenge to you is now again that you see this, that you use it to your advantage, because the fact that you are influential, which means that you can move people, that is perfect for you launching, the business that you're working on that, will come to fruition very soon, and getting people to come behind you and galvanize with you and grow and build with you. And that's all a part of it. It's not, you don't have to do, your business by yourself. You have the ability to make people believe what you believe, you know and so, but if you don't, influence is in the mouth. So if you don't get it out there, if you don't talk to people about it, if you don't show people the passion that you have behind it, your why behind it, then you're not using this influence that you have. It is your highest score. So when you say things, people move, environments shift. So I think that knowing that you do have this ability and this power, it should make you using your voice that much more important. Okay, so your second highest score is relationships. Relationships is in the hands. The reason why relationships is in the hands is because it's the only extremity in the body that can give and receive. And that's what a relationship is, right? You have people that talk about, I want a partnership. And I'm always leery of people that say that, because a partnership can be 90-10, 80-20, 70-30. So they're coming in with the mindset of being uneven. But a true relationship, that is giving and receiving. As one person is giving, that's filling the other person up. The other person should be also giving and filling that person up. That way, no one ever runs empty, right? And both parties can, fill each other up. So let's see I'm interested in this. I ain't read this one, folks. So let me see. You value connection deeply. Feedback fuels you, and you flourish when surrounded by others who encourage your ideas. Mutual respect in relationship and in the team dynamic is extremely important to you. It bothers you when you feel like people do not value what you say. You thoroughly enjoy the team and relationship dynamic when everyone is respected. However, it gets under your skin if you feel like the respect isn't mutual. You are strong and you can stand alone if it is necessary. You are a champion for respect, and any disrespect will not be tolerated. Be sure not to rush to judgment. Analyze the entire situation before labeling something as disrespect. This will protect you from putting yourself in a compromising situation. So, when you read that, this is your second highest score, right? This is in your hands. When you read this about how you deal in relationship, what resonates with you? Like, how do you feel about what you see?
Um, it's spot on, especially the last part. I mean, because and that's something I have to work on. Definitely thinking before you act, and that's what that last sentence says. Pretty much, just take a minute to think before you just react, which is definitely me sometimes. And yeah, I do value my relationships deeply, and not just romantic, but platonic, family, everybody. Like, I mean, if I let you in my circle, like, you know, homie for life. I will
Mm-hmm.
definitely go above and beyond for you, and I would want that respect back. I mean, I'm not asking for you to give me something right then. It's not tit for tat. But when I need you, just like when you need me, I want you to have the same energy behind it. So
I think that that's something that we have in common. Like when we first started, dating, um, one of the first things I told you was like reciprocity is big for me. Like, look, I'm not asking you to do everything that I do because I could do a lot. But what I need from you, I need from you. I needs it. I needs it. And I will say that not just you, but even your mom, like y'all have that DNA, right? You do.
I don't. I call it people pleasing. I always used to shame her for that. She will drive herself insane trying to please other people, and unbeknownst to me, I apple doesn't fall far off the tree. I still have some of those. No matter how much I don't want to do it, it's just like innately in me. To go above and beyond for the people that I care about and love.
And so with that, and one thing that I'll say for people like your mom and your mate has to be able to see you, has to be able to understand what type of woman they're with. I tell you this all the time. For you, you are a grower. So, you're like good soil. Whatever you plant inside of you is going to grow. If you plant good things, beautiful things happen. If you plant bad things, boy. And so, it's important for you to be with somebody who sees you and understands that about you. I know firsthand, that you will stop at nothing to figure out how to make somebody happy. And for me, I value that. And, I reciprocate that because it's rare. It's rare these days. You and I talk about this all the time. We have uh, three different types of relationships. You have givers and takers and takers, and then givers and givers. And the takers and takers, normally those are really super exciting relationships, but short lived. Because both of them are trying to figure out how to get one up on each other. It's exciting. It's risky. I think that's more like that young, good girl, bad guy, but they really both bad. And that is that. Like, I want the risk. I want the excitement. I want that. The givers and takers, that's what we see probably most because it's one party that's doing anything they can to make the other person happy, but the other person has an insatiable appetite, which means nothing that you do is good enough.
And
And
then
so
you're constantly chasing. You're
and you
constantly chasing, trying to make them happy, and then nothing makes them happy, and then you're a dog trying to catch their tail at the end of the day. So
come
yeah,
on now. And the last one, which this is the one that you know your parents have been married 20 plus years. My parents been married 40 plus years. I think the only one that works is givers and givers because the givers, they know how to give. And when you receive giving and you're not used to it, you really cherish it. You hold on to it. And sometimes you grow into that. Maybe, it's probably times that we've been all three.
yeah.
But in order to make it last, in order to make it work truly, you both got to give. You both have to be willing to give. If I see you're tired, you know what, I got it. You know, you lay down. Let me take care of this. Let me take care of the laundry or the kids or whatever that is. Let me do that. You know, let me not just. Oh, I know you tired, but you know, fix me a plate. Like, come on, like, come on, like that's not. That shows the lack of respect, and you know, for you, you know, relationships is in the heart. I mean, is in the hands. So if when you're giving and you're not receiving, you just know to give, but it chips away at you
Until you burn out.
until you burn out, and then
You don't got nothing left to give.
and then you go at that point.
Yes, that stuff like that is what will put people in depressions. You know, like it will just beat you down so much. You're depleted. You have nothing left, and that's what happens when you are a giver and you're with the taker. You know, you just and I'm talking about emotionally. You know, physically, financially, any way, you just become depleted and drained.
Yep. Ah. Okay. Your third highest is self confidence. Self confidence is in the mind. You know, we talk about that is, you know, in your prefrontal cortex, it's your decision maker. And for you, it's at 80%, so that's pretty high. We got 20% that we can still get to, and we will. So let's see what it says. Your confidence runs deep and steady. When you trust your instincts, you perform at your peak, and others take notice. Self doubt may occasionally tap on your shoulder, but focus on consistency because it will keep you strong. People are learning to be confident through you exuding your confidence. Don't doubt yourself. Self doubt is a hindrance to yourself and others. You are a living example of belief in action. Keep shining. Your confidence lights the way for others. Consistency keeps you strong. Focus on being consistent in your self belief. All right. Your confidence runs deep and steady. When you trust your instinct, you perform at your peak. So when you see this, what resonates as far as self confidence?
For one, I didn't realize I had so much, to be honest. And as far as it gives me reassurance, where you know it talks about me pretty much trusting in my instinct, and that sometimes I doubt it. You know, you always doubt yourself. I'm an overthinker, so I'll think it through and somehow talk myself out of it. So now, you know, it gives me, you know, confidence to say, okay, trust your first mind.
So let me ask you this: when you have trust your first mind versus you vacillating, what do you think the biggest difference is?
Mm. Um. Okay. Well, I always like to take a look at worst case scenario. Say I trusted my first mind, and the outcome wasn't good. For me, it allowed me to get it over with, get it done, and figure out how to fix it instead of prolonging it. You know, carrying it out, still thinking about it. You know, just at least trying and failing. You got the opportunity to fix it.
I think what you just said was big because people are afraid to even try. And they're so far in their head that they're not realizing that time is passing them by. If you at least so in agile we're taught like to iterate, right? So you go through you MVP, the minimal viable product. So you what is the minimal thing functional product that we can produce to try to get feedback? People are so afraid of feedback they don't even try.
Oh no, I mean I think it's in on one of the other ones. Like the one above it. I value feedback. Like that's how I like to operate. I mean, I don't. I'm a more direct. Cut to the chase when it comes to certain things, and I rather not beat around the bush. If I'm doing something wrong, if I'm doing something you don't like, whatever, just let me know so that I can correct it. But if I don't know, I can't even begin to fix it, and it's just gonna sit there and gnaw at you, and nothing gets done.
I agree. I mean, and I know that you're an overthinker, and I'll always push you to do what All right, let's write it down. Let's take an action. What can you do?
Yeah.
And because I have seen you even recently go from overthinking to taking a step, and then taking leaps. You know what I'm saying? Just even with your business, it went from, okay, let me just take a call, to wait, now I got a plan. Now I'm gonna have a potential a partner. Now I have this. When you are confident in your instincts, in like, I know where I gotta go, my mind is on the target. I've seen the parting of the sea for you. And again, you're influential. So I'm not shocked that people want to work with you, want to help you. You have that ability. But if you're vacillating within your confidence, then that affects them.
And then not even just that, I didn't realize how much my confidence affected other people until, I switched jobs and took a couple other people with me. And, me leaving gave them the confidence to, leave an environment that really wasn't good for anyone. So
That's the proof. That shows, number one, how influential you are. You leave, three other people leave. And they not just leave, they go where you are.
Yeah.
And from what you told me, all three of them are talking about how much better their life is. Like, they're so happy they made the switch because of you. If you would have stayed there, you would have been not just holding yourself back, but them too.
Yeah, and then also, like I said, I think I was telling you this yesterday, just everything may not be for you, Like, I may have, switched jobs and brought other people, somebody else with me for them. Maybe that opportunity wasn't for me. Maybe it was for them. So you got to always look at things like that too. Like, don't be selfish in it. Like, what did I get out of it, Like, some blessing, sometimes God uses you for somebody else's blessing.
Come on now. Okay, the last two. Getting down to the nitty gritty. So trust. Trust resides in the heart. And trust is the security of your heart. How secure your heart is, that is how much you will trust something. So, your belief in yourself or in your trust is situational. Your trust in yourself is relative to the situation you are placed in. You are a person who will trust your abilities or personalities in comfortable environments. However, if it's new or uncomfortable, it's hard for you to display the same level of trust. And that could even be a new person, like just new. This causes you to thrive in some situations and hesitate in others. You must understand that the more you trust yourself, the better your environments will be. Your trust level should be solid and stable no matter the situation. People need you to trust yourself because when you do, you are at your best. Practice trusting your first thought because it's usually the right one. People are connected to you. They need you at your best because you can help them reach their best. Build consistency and self-trust. When you believe in yourself fully, your environment transforms with you. So when you read that, what comes to mind?
Very true. I do trust myself relative to the situation. If I, if I know something, if I'm confident in it, I can do it all day. But when I don't know it, sometimes I may not even want to attempt it because I don't know it. It's foreign. Let me stick to my lane, But you don't get new things if you don't try new things.
Woo! That's a bar.
So I mean, it gives me reassurance in that that I should trust myself, and that trusting myself is impactful for me and others. So.
Wow. So when you hear that people are connected to you and people need you to trust yourself, what what does that make you think of? Like, what do you have examples of that you see now that you maybe hadn't seen before, or how does that resonate with you? Because that's a heavy crown to wear.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's a common theme. The one before it, it was like trusting your self confidence, because your self confidence helps other people. So, I mean, maybe I'm just a vessel, a catalyst, just to help people. And if that's, what my purpose is, I'm okay with that. Um, but as far as trust goes, I thought it would be more interpersonal
Mm,
when I heard of the category. Not necessarily a trust in myself, but my trust in other people.
mm.
Is what I thought it was going to be about. So to see that my trust in myself is low, I mean, a little bit shocking. I thought I trusted myself, more, but I could see why.
And so even with that, I mean that's a good point. So how you trust others most times kind of relates to how you trust yourself.
Mm.
So if
Hmm.
you're just a relatively just trusting person, you're gonna give people everybody the benefit of the doubt, and you're just gonna keep giving them the benefit of the doubt because that's how you see yourself. So the fact that your trust in yourself is situational, you have keen eyes, like you have eagle eyes. It's all good when it's all good, but if you start seeing something that ain't right, you have the switch to hold on, wait a minute, because that's how you see yourself.
Fair. Very true. I mean, when you put it like that, because I can easily see it when we're referring to other people, when I'm looking at other people. But now to turn that around and say, dang, that's how I see myself is um, kind of hard to look at,
In what way?
because I don't feel like I'm very trusting of other people. So if I'm going to turn the mirror, that means I'm not very trusting of myself.
So okay, so this is good. So are you? Let me ask you this question: are you not trusting of other people? How do I want to say it? Because there's like two things that go on my mind. I'm gonna say it like this: how do you know when it's safe to trust someone?
I mean, to be honest, still working through that. Um, I didn't grow up with those tools. And even from
Mm.
a child, the only thing I do know is, not being able to trust people. Yeah. So that's a theme that I've been able to carry throughout life. It's not something that just recently happened, or a couple of bad breakups. I mean, it's been the theme since I've been a child. So I've always learned to keep, my spidey senses tingling, to
Mm.
always think. It allowed me, it put me in that mindset to overthink, so that I wouldn't, keep finding myself in the same positions. So it was like a defense mechanism.
So let me ask you this: has that the way that you've deployed the defense mechanism, has that worked?
Probably not.
so,
But I had to do something. I didn't say it was gonna work.
so okay, okay. This is very good because there's so many people that go through the same thing. Like trust is a big thing for like everybody. So when you say you didn't grow up with those tools, okay, I hear that. But so are you saying growing up you trusted nobody? Who are
Um,
the people that you trusted?
so I didn't grow up with my biological father, so he was gone. So step one of trust issues. I knew the man, saw him here or there, but was never really consistently present. So trust issues number one. My mom worked all the time to the point where I barely saw her. So trust issues number two. I don't know if you're gonna stay or go whenever I see you. And then, I mean, I did have my grandma who was consistently there. So
So you
that's
trusted her.
I trusted Lucille, yes. And then, of course, growing up, you meet not so nice people, and then and it just builds. The trauma just builds on top, on top. So then, where you started out, not trusting one, Now you don't trust 50, and then you start to categorize, and then you start to group. As you get older and your mind starts to form, and then you realize, oh, nope, I can't trust anybody. So,
You know what? You said something, and I think it might be the key. Um, your trust goes down when consistency goes down.
yes.
So, in order for you to build trust with somebody, because ultimately we're trying to figure out not only how to build trust within ourselves, but how to, because we're dealing with relationships too. We're dealing with people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you build trust with them? And from what I deduce from what you just said, the best way to earn your trust is to stay consistent.
I mean, I didn't even honestly realize that, but yes, that is it. I definitely need consistency in order for me to trust someone. Because I notice when a pattern is off, and I'm like, brush your teeth 2 minutes longer today. What you doing? Like, so it's like I'm very, and people, believe it or not, people are creatures of habit. People have patterns.
Yeah.
And I've learned to pick up on some of those. So when I notice a pattern is off, I automatically, question, even if I don't say anything, but the list goes through my mind of possibilities. If it's anything, should I say anything? Is it just me being crazy and over paranoid? So all of this happens, all of this deductive reasoning happens, over some of the smallest things, and nobody knows. That's why I say I'm overthinking. You have no idea what I be thinking about half the time.
I feel like a lot of women are gonna resonate with that, um, for sure. But remember that you're very influential, and so, at least with, well, not just with me, but with people that you care about, we're not mind readers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could just be, I had a crab boil that day, and I need to put a little extra toothpaste, cause
Understandable.
and you like, hold on, what you why you brushing like
But
that?
that's why communication is good, which is why, I mean, we work so well, because you don't seem to judge me or get irritated when I ask random questions.
No,
You just
I want to know.
answer the question, and don't even ask why I'm asking the question, which is wonderful. Like, so, like, I mean, that is, I appreciate that, like, because believe me, my mind can go into some places. Okay.
Well, I think for both of us, communication is very key, and I can't hold anybody accountable for something they don't know. So I'm always gonna communicate. If I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling bad, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, this might be the plan. This is something that you need to look out for. I'm gonna do that because I think for me, it's important to make sure that everybody connected to me is understanding how I'm thinking and feeling. So if I turn left, it's not like, why is he turning left? It's like, nah, he been talking about turning left for like 3 weeks now.
Right.
Like, if this happens, he gonna turn left. And I think, again, making sure that our trust is high, because it's the security of our heart. Even how we got together. I mean, we didn't, we wasn't, try. I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't looking for a permanent situation.
We both were not looking.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for nothing permanent. I was living a bachelor's life, and it was awesome. So I thought, but then you meet somebody, and you start realizing that as much as you were enjoying that life, there were gaps there, and this person is filling those gaps. And so I'm grateful to you, and making sure that our trust is high, that the security of our heart, since trust is in the heart, is high. Is going to take communication, and it's going to take consistency. And so that's why it's important that I show up, and I'm the same way. Like, I need you to show up. Like, I need you say this how you feel about me. I need to see it. I mean, I can see better than I can hear.
You just are smart enough to not put yourself in precarious situations where I got to ride or die. So, I mean, outside of that, I can show up for scheduled appointments. That's fine.
But we don't. Why? What? I hate. Why we can't ride and live?
Oh,
You know. Okay. Last one. Fear, which resides at the feet. Fear is the only
she's
emotion
a
that
runner, she's
can
a track star.
paralyze us or make us run. So
Yes.
that was your lower score. So let's get into that. So fear sometimes causes you to hesitate. At times, you let fear stop you from progressing. You have a measure of success, but you wonder if you are maximizing your full potential. What if whispers to you? What if I try something that I've never tried? What if I go to a place that I've never been? You value your comfort, but at what price?
Mm.
Comfort may be safe, but fulfillment requires risk.
Mm.
You justify not living a fulfilled life because you are comfortable. Our question to you is, what if you don't become who you were meant to be? Being comfortable is not suitable for being fulfilled. You must be willing to take a risk. The life you want lives outside of your comfort zone. Take a chance to live the life that you imagine. You are bigger than your fears. There is greatness inside of you. Your greatness lives outside the familiar. So before you go, I want to say something. You took this assessment before you switched jobs, before you took a risk. So and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna let you talk, but we had many conversations about the previous establishment and why you stayed there. And then, so I would just like to, we can use that as an example, unless you have a different example that you want to use. But how has your life changed from being a little more fearless, getting outside of your comfort zone more than you were usually? And what benefits have you reaped from that?
So yes, I was working at an office and it was chaotic, and I was there for a while, working in the chaos. Um, Knowing that I could find a better place, but was comfortable in the chaos.
Mm.
So I stayed there. Um, I knew but I knew certain things, and I knew I wouldn't get in trouble for being late or anything like that. But I did know when I punched in, from the time I punched in to the time I punched out, I was gonna be running and moving all day. Um, on top of, I didn't like management. It was a bunch of things, and I stayed there for a long time because I was comfortable. And a part of me likes being comfortable,
Mm.
familiarity. I like, you know, the same thing. I remember in high school when I had to take the bus to school, I sat on the same seat for a whole year. Like that's how that's how you know comfortable sitting in a spot I know I can be. But as I'm getting older, I'm learning. I know I can't be comfortable to get the things that I want.
Mm.
I have to make myself uncomfortable, to be completely honest, to go get the things that I want. I
Mm.
have to have conversations that I may not want to have. I have to be persistent. I may have to push an issue on something that that may not normally have been me to push. And with becoming uncomfortable, I got a new job. Okay,
Mm.
more money, and I guess more. What's the word? Uh, More influence, I guess. A new title, and I didn't even ask for that title, but I guess I just got a new title just from the doctor seeing my work ethic. So all of that is all great things. And I, like I said, I'm just not the person to be stagnant. So now that I have this, now I'm looking for my next opportunity. So, but all of that was because I stepped out of my comfort zone. And anything else moving forward that is great is going to be because I stepped out of my comfort zone. And for a long time, I just kept my head down in the same career path that I was on, knowing that I was never going to be satisfied with it.
Mm.
And then now, even though it took a minute, just now I'm, stepping out of my comfort zone and doing things to, change that and to reach higher. So,
I love that. And I'm not gonna say I was in your ear, like
you was in my
that's why, yeah, I was for sure. But it's because and we've had these conversations. I hold you to a high standard. I hold you to a high regard. Um, I see the person that you are supposed to be, that you're meant to be, and it requires work. It requires sacrifice. It requires you stepping outside of what is familiar. Bless you.
Thank you.
And you have to do it because there are people that are waiting to be your fan, waiting to be your support, waiting to root you on, that you'll never get those applause if you don't step out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of people miss, that these ideas that come to us, they're not for us. There are people that are literally hoping and praying that somebody creates the very thing that God put in your mind. And as you are you're vacillating back and forth, and well, I don't know if this is the right time, or I don't know if I need to do this, or I don't know that. There are people who are suffering because they need you to show up. And so there are people that lose, we talked about trust, losing trust in humanity because they can't see you at your peak. Ooh,
That's deep.
that's deep. You know what I'm saying? That is, people always want, what is my purpose? But look, God gives us a set of skills, and everybody has them. And our purpose is to maximize the gifts and talents that He has provided to us to help someone else. It's that simple. And that means different things for different people, but the concept stays the same. And you have omens of it. I mean, just think about it. You move because of you. You went out, you interviewed, you found a new job, and then
It's not it. Honestly, I didn't even look for that job. I mean, but when you know, you're good at what you do, and because I leave lasting impacts on people, and they call me back. They want me back. I don't have to look for them. And it just so happened when I had been fed up with my previous job, the current one asked me to come in or temp for them, and I asked them if they had a full time position, and then I got a new job, just like that. So.
I mean, this is fantastic. So, in our closing, first off, honey, thanks for doing this for me, because I'm excited. I'm excited to see, how you are growing, and also just how you do have a lasting impact on people. So, I didn't cheat and read your scores before. I just let you take it, and like, if you wanted to talk to me, okay, great. But looking at it, it made all the sense in the world. And in order for you to close that 19%, gap, is really getting out of the comfort zone, trusting yourself. you know those two things are gonna catapult you. It's gonna resonate with all the rest of it, you know um and so I am excited for where you are going, and excited to be along this journey with you.
Ditto. And I mean, I definitely wouldn't have even been able to come to these conclusions about myself without, of course, your impact assessment. So, I know I thank you. I know a bunch of other people will thank you. Um, it's definitely let me see who I am plainly, you know.
Mm.
It was able to show me in, 4 or 5 categories who I was. So I'm grateful for that, and now I know where I can improve and get better.
I love it. Grace, you just, and that was just so sweet, and you ruined it. That's alright. Oh, you are a natural.
I didn't do anything.